What you think about your performance tonight, Owen, just being out there again and getting that big win over Michigan?
You know, the atmosphere was great, so obviously it was a really fun game to be a part of. Defense was flying around. We had a really good game plan, and Coach V does a really good job of making the week super hectic for us so the game slows down. And against a really good opponent like Michigan, you know, it's nice when you go out there and the game's just almost going in slow motion. So really fun game to be a part of.
It seemed like you guys were able to generate a lot of pressure on Bryce Underwood tonight. Just how important was that for the defense as a whole?
You know, I think it was really important. Our game plan, you know, young quarterback was to make him uncomfortable, and I think we did a really good job of that. And once again, kudos to Coach V for making a really good game plan. And all week we worked really hard and came out and we executed it. Made it tough for him. Made it really easy on our back end to make good plays. So once again, really good win by the defense.
Owen, what's this journey just been like for you and to play in a big game like this and have the moments you did? What's it been like?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of answered prayers and a lot of hard work. A lot of people are like, do you think you would have been here? Like, if you could have told yourself you'd be here 3 years ago, do you believe it? And I always say, yeah, like, this is what I've dreamed of. And I think that my work has reflected that. And, you know, I've got family who's supported me all the way and paid for school while I was a walk-on for 3 years. So just really grateful to everybody that's been a part of the journey and helped me get to where I am right now. So, and it's also really awesome to be out there and get to wear the Sooner jersey and be a part of a big game like this, because there's really nothing like it.
Along those lines, just what does a game like this do just for your confidence, you know, seeing it pay off on the field?
Yeah, you know, I mean, this was the biggest game I've ever taken significant snaps in. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't really nervous going into the game. So to go out there and be able to make some plays, and like I said, the game was just going really slow for us because of all the work that we put in. It's really rewarding because you just know all the hard work that you put in kind of eases those nerves as the game goes on. So
Was there a play that helped like settle your nerves, or like was it a tackle or just getting on the field?
Yeah, I think it's almost always that first kickoff. Just running down there for me, it just makes you realize that you're out there with a bunch of humans, and while they're a really good team, everybody put in the same amount of work, and we'll see who worked the hardest and prepared the most. So
Brent told us the way that you were sneaking onto the field.
and I pissed him off. Yeah.
yeah. Can you tell us a little about that? Like, where did that come from? How did that originate?
You know, I felt like I wasn't really getting a shot at linebacker, and you know, I am not saying that that's a coach's fault. We had a really deep linebacker room, and I wouldn't have put myself in over Danny when I was a sophomore either. So I just had to take reps where I could get him, and a lot of times that was me, you know, when no one was out there and they're like, we need a Will, to just running out there. And a lot of times I got pulled right back off, but sometimes they let me stay out there and, you know, just taking advantage of those reps when they came. I wasn't always perfect, like Coach V said, but I think the effort and the attitude and the physicality has shown. And now in year 5, I'm getting a chance to play in big stages, so it's been really rewarding.
You made a point to say that you led the team in tackles, and made sure we all knew that. Do you feel a little validated in that in the same week that he kind of calls you a pain in the ass, he comes in here and makes sure everybody knows that you also led the team in tackles?
Yeah, you know, I think that's just a testament to the character of Coach V. He pushes us really hard, but he also knows when to give credit. And so, you know, when we have a game like this, and once again, it's a whole defense win for me to get 7 tackles. I can't do it without those guys up front making push and opening holes for me. So to be able to make plays is awesome, but it's really just a credit to how well the defense played tonight.
Where's that self-confidence come from for you? Because I'm sure there's a ton of guys at any practice that could hear we need a Will, and they just start looking around going,
Yeah.
where's Danny? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say it was confidence because I was always so nervous when I was out there. It was more of just wanting. This has been my dream since I was little. My uncle played here, and from the moment I can remember, I was in OU gear. So to be able to run out on the field is what I've always dreamed of. And I knew that I wasn't going to get there sitting on the sideline, so I had to take a chance on myself and bet on myself. And that came at the expense of Coach V's patience, and but it worked out. So
For you, though, when did you notice those nerves kind of transform into like, okay, I'm earning these reps, like that kind of stuff?
yeah. When did I notice it? You know, I've always kind of had a confidence in myself, you know. when I wasn't getting a whole lot of reps, when I would get reps, I felt like I was making plays. And, you know, like I said, I was sitting behind a really good linebacker room. So I had to be better than those guys to prove that I was worth playing on the field. And so every time I went out there, I just kind of had the mindset that I don't want to be just as good as these guys. I got to prove that I'm better in order to make a splash in the coach's room. So the confidence just came from the work, watching film as much as I could, getting in the playbook, sitting up in the staff meetings, listening to what the defense was running. And, you know, Coach V said I wasn't always perfect, but when plays came my way, I did my best to make them, and that just adds to the confidence on game day.
You mentioned a couple times how this is a childhood dream.
Yeah.
So if you were to tell childhood Owen that
Yeah.
you're the leading tackler against Michigan,
I think childhood Owen would have pee running down his leg. You know, it was a dream, and I know how much work it takes to get to the level like this. And I'm just really grateful. A lot of answered prayers to be here. A lot of people really pouring into me. A lot of people taking a chance on me. So just really grateful for the opportunity.
Hear from Danny yet?
What's up?
Hear from Danny yet?
Yeah, he texted me actually. He was one of the first texts I got. So that just kind of once again goes to the character of the person he is. He's always rooting for me. And I think that's why we've got such a close bond. So great to hear from him. You know, we're the same age, but I look up to him. So hearing from him was really, really special.
thanks, Owen.
Yep. Thank you guys.